In the world of celebrity families, few have maintained such a long-standing image of unity and polished harmony as David and Victoria Beckham. The former football superstar and the internationally renowned fashion designer have long been icons of both individual success and family stability. Yet, beneath the glossy surface that the Beckhams have presented to the public for decades, a deep and painful familial schism is now playing out in one of the most public and personal ways possible, through social media posts, public statements, and emotional reckonings that have captivated global audiences. At the center of this unfolding drama is Brooklyn Beckham, the eldest son of David and Victoria, whose recent actions and statements have brought a private family conflict into the harsh glare of international attention. What began as simmering tensions around weddings, relationships, and family expectations has quickly escalated into a very public estrangement, leaving fans and observers alike wondering whether one of the world's most famous families can ever find their way back to harmony. The spark of conflict. The friction between Brooklyn Beckham and his parents reportedly stems from years of underlying tension that reached a breaking point during and after his high-profile wedding to actress and model Nicola Peltz. The April wedding was meant to be a joyous culmination of Brooklyn's personal journey into adulthood and family life. Instead, it became an early focal point for allegations of interference and resentment. According to accounts that have surfaced, Brooklyn and Nicola experienced what the Sun described as a series of hurtful and humiliating incidents throughout the wedding process. At the heart of these grievances was an allegation that Victoria Beckham, despite initially being involved in creating a wedding dress for the bride, ultimately withdrew from that role at a late and stressful hour, forcing Nicola to secure a new gown under pressure. This allegation, whether fully accurate or partly perceived, is emblematic of the complex emotional dynamics that reportedly played out behind the scenes. In addition to the wedding dress incident, Brooklyn has publicly claimed that his parents repeatedly pressured him to sign away the rights to his own name before the marriage, a move he perceived as deeply controlling and financially motivated. He has said that this insistence on contractual matters was tied to timing that allegedly would benefit certain financial interests once the wedding date passed. Whether these claims have legal foundation is unclear, but they contributed significantly to his feeling of being manipulated rather than supported by his parents. Perhaps most striking was his assertion that his own mother took over what should have been an intimate moment: his first dance with his new wife. Brooklyn described feeling deeply uncomfortable and embarrassed when Victoria allegedly stepped in at a moment meant for him and Nicola, transforming a symbol of marital unity into a spectacle that undermined his sense of privacy and respect. Brooklyn's public declaration. For many years, observers noted occasional rumors of discord between Brooklyn and his family, especially around the intense media scrutiny that comes with carrying the Beckham name. However, the rift became impossible to ignore when Brooklyn decided to go public with his feelings in a lengthy social media statement. In his message, Brooklyn wrote candidly about a lifetime feeling controlled by his parents, asserting that he had endured anxiety and pressure throughout his upbringing, an anxiety that he now claims has eased since distancing himself from them. He insisted that the narrative floating in the press, that Nicola was controlling his life, was completely backwards, and that his desire for a peaceful, private life with his wife was genuine and long overdue. The emotional tone of the statement was raw, frank, and unfiltered, a stark contrast to the carefully curated family imagery the Beckhams have historically shared. Brooklyn said plainly, "I do not want to reconcile with my family," and conveyed that he is seeking a life defined by peace, privacy, and happiness, rather than public image or brand cultivation. Such openness from a member of a global celebrity family is rare and marked a dramatic shift in how personal grievances are typically handled behind closed doors. The Beckham parents' reaction. In the wake of Brooklyn's statement, David and Victoria Beckham have largely chosen silence in public. Representatives for the couple did not immediately respond to requests for comment, which has only fueled speculation and debate across news outlets and social media platforms. Yet, sources close to the family suggest that while the Beckhams have not issued formal public statements directly addressing the allegations, their private feelings tell a different story. Insiders familiar with the situation have indicated that David and Victoria are deeply hurt by the public airing of grievances, but their love for their son remains. Far from closing the door on reconciliation, these sources suggest that the Beckham parents are holding it open, willing to welcome Brooklyn back, in a minute, should he choose to return. This sentiment underscores the profound emotional complexity at play, a blend of parental love, confusion, and a deep fear of permanently losing their child to estrangement. The Beckhams are also navigating this personal upheaval against a backdrop of their own individual and professional commitments. Victoria, in particular, has faced intense media scrutiny not only about her fashion career but also about how she manages the intersection of her public persona and her private family life. David's own social media posts have subtly reflected his feelings about family, though without direct reference to the conflict with Brooklyn. Family support and public reactions. Brooklyn's younger siblings, Romeo, Cruz, and Harper, have also been drawn into the swirling narrative, albeit in different ways. While their voices haven't been as publicly prominent as Brooklyn's or their parents', social media activity and appearances at public events have sparked interpretations about where their loyalties might lie. At a recent fashion event where Victoria was honored for her contributions to the industry, Romeo and Cruz were present and showed support for their mother. Brooklyn and Nicola, however, were noticeably absent. Public reaction has been just as varied as the family's internal perspectives. On social media platforms and fan forums, commenters have taken sides, with some expressing sympathy for Brooklyn's desire to assert independence, while others defend the Beckham parents and their decades of dedication to building a successful family and public life. Some observers have even framed the conflict as a broader cultural moment about generational expectations, mental health, and personal agency within powerful families.